time it is. Marvin Devine, Hoover, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axel, and Hoover, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Kidney Hub East Africa. I am half your host, Steve Belcher. Thank you for joining. Today's show, you're going to want to watch this, whether you're in East Africa or you're in the United States. We've done shows like this multiple times because of natural disasters right here in the United States. Now, we got a show because of El Nino rain season, which is approaching East Africa. And here, as always, is our brother from Kisumu, Kenya, Brother Moses Kennedy, the kidney ambassador. Let's give him the VIP welcome as always. Brother Moses, good evening. How you doing?
I'm good, Brother Steve.
Thanks for joining us.
So great.
Yeah, we know you had a power surge right before the show, so I hope everything is back to, quote, normal.
Absolutely. Everything is set right now.
Good.
And
good.
Yeah.
So how was your week of dialysis? We know that you go twice a week, and you had treatment yesterday. How did it go?
The last 2 weeks, it has never been good because I still experience getting tired almost to the next dialysis. So really, I really get worn out. But then I'm using some painkillers to, to give me some quality life, which are really doing great regarding leading quality life. Yeah, but then the challenge is getting tired, seriously tired, to the next dialysis. So, but we are coping with it, Steve.
Let me ask you, could you do 3-day treatment? You
Of
would have to.
course, that is what was prescribed. But as you know, getting the third one is beyond my means. So
What would be the cost of that in
the
US
cost
dollars?
the cost is Kenyan shilling is 9,500. So it means in US dollars, if you compute it, it becomes uh, 900. No, it becomes because $1 is equivalent to 144 shillings. So if you multiply, it becomes I'm just giving you the figure.
So it'd be more
uh
than $500.
no it no it not 500, about $21 or 19 point something dollars.
Wait a
19
minute,
one thousand
$20 for extra treatment.
221 dollars.
Oh, about $200.
Yes, about $200 for the third treatment. Yeah,
Okay,
so that one is obviously beyond my means. 200 from 19 to 200, from 189 to 200. Yeah,
and you can
dollars.
get an
So
extra
basically
treatment,
just 200 because
and
the
you can get
market
an extra
value.
treatment.
Yeah, that is what it was prescribed long time ago. But then now, my doctor has nothing to do now about it, about as to whether I will afford it or not. So basically, that is what can really improve on my strength. But it's a struggle still, staying positive despite all odds is the password for living with kidney disease. Yes.
Right, right. Well, I want to see what I can do to maybe contribute to see if you can get a couple of extra treatments.
Thank you
Um,
so much. Thank you so
because
much.
189 to $200 is really not a lot. Especially if it's going to improve the quality of life. Um, yeah. So let's get on with the show. Um, Brother Moses,
Yes.
emergency preparedness. Now, you had mentioned last week about um, the El Nino rain season approaching East Africa. Can you talk a little bit about that? And have you ever experienced an El Nino rain season? And if so, could you share a little bit about what you experienced?
Uh, Thank you very much, Steve. What normally happens in Kenya and most of East Africa, we don't experience extreme weathers. So this phenomenon comes with the extremity in that it is marked with heavy rainfall. In fact, this time round, it was projected by meteorologists that there shall be heavy rains during this season. Now, what happens is that it is a weather phenomenon that happens after a period of time, especially when there is heat in the ocean, along the Indian Ocean, and now that is how the rains are generated across East Africa. So what happens? The first El Nino, the last El Nino happened in 2006, and then there was another one that also happened in 1997. But then 1997, I was a young man because I'm just I'm 43, I'm 42, 43. So I didn't experience much, and I wasn't that much to say that I experienced. But what I know, there were heavy floods, cars were washed away, roads were broken, you know, bridges were damaged. I mean, it was horrible. And now, this one round, it was projected uh, to begin just a month ago, but then you know because sometimes accuracy by the meteorology, it can never be 100%. But then the last couple of days, we have experienced heavy rainfall, especially here in Kisumu and other parts of the county. But of course, there shall be heavy rains. That one I'm sure of, up to next year, February. That is report by meteorological department of Kenya. Yes, Steve.
All right, Brother Moses. Definitely appreciate that. And and in lieu of this, because I'm sure if it's a possibility of broken roads, heavy flooding, maybe some power outage, then it's going to have an impact on dialysis.
Absolutely, Steve. You know, we do not have, especially better infrastructure the way developed countries. Of course, that is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And with that challenge, you will realize even just a small downpour, just some light rains, then there is always blackout. Or because the power lines sometimes are not well managed, they are they are uh, they are prone to blackouts. But then again, you know, the backup generators that most units do have, sometimes they malfunction, you know, because these are resources that are scarce, and it is to those who are in this industry focus on profit over service delivery. So you realize that I will just say this the way it is, because there is more attention on profit. So you realize it is expensive to, use generator and burn the fossil fuel. So what happens? I've seen most dialysis unit send people at home that they reschedule, and people go back home, which is really, I know it is a great violation, right? So yes, with power blackout, it is horrible. Even the cooling system uh, uh, and maybe how drugs are preserved. Maybe you need hormone erythropoietin, you know. So those things are compromised. The quality are compromised because, look, brother Steve, it is business. I mean, it is okay to do business, but then business, the profit or the money people pay vis-a-vis the service delivery must be of satisfactory. So yes, it happens. And even what of the floods? Floods come with a lot of problems along a long way with it because of the poor infrastructure. The treatment plant for most water plants are open ones. So you realize even water that comes to our taps might not be safe as that. Okay. And not everyone access tap water. Besides, not everyone access tap water. So you realize there could be no blackout, but then there could be water shortage, you realize. So they go hand in hand. Water versus, floods, rains versus power blackout. So yes, if you really getting prepared, sometimes there are limitation, and that is what happens.
Okay. So as the El Nino rain season approaches in East Africa, it's essential for kidney patients to be prepared for potential emergencies. As we just heard Brother Moses explain, if the power goes out or flooding, it could be almost chaos. So on this show today, we're here to help you navigate if this should happen. And this is for people in the U.S. because we have our share of natural disasters, hurricanes. Some places are prone to tornadoes, earthquake, just heavy rain, snow, winter season's coming up. So you just never know. You just never know if something even happens to the dialysis center where water is lost to the clinic. Because once water is shut down to the clinic, like they got a big water leak, city water leak somewhere, and it feeds to the dialysis unit, if that's out, it's a wrap. Not unless the company you like Fresenius DeVita got water tankers, and the only time they bring them out if wherever you had the dialysis have a hurricane or the power go out, like down in Texas when they had Hurricane Ike. So today we're here to help our brothers and sisters in East Africa, as well in the United States, and their families who deal with kidney failure or go to dialysis, depends on outpatient, to navigate through this challenging time and to ensure your safety and well-being. So the first tip we're going to talk about in being prepared is stay informed. That's very important. And what I mean by that is keep yourself updated with weather forecasts and warning issued by local authorities. Okay, I don't know how they do it in Kenya, as far as through transistor radios or cell phones, whatever. Here in the United States, we have the news, you got internet, and stay tuned to reliable news sources and follow official social media accounts for the latest information on potential flooding, or other weather-related emergencies. Brother Moses, do y'all have any type of communication system that can sound the alarm for brothers and sisters that are undergoing dialysis to be ready?
Oh no, we there are no such standalone television channels or radio FM channel that stand alone talking about kidney failure. So we only rely on meteorological department that airs updates.
No, that's what I mean. I didn't mean specifically directed toward patients with kidney failure, but in general, is there a broadcast system that forewarns the people of Kenya or even in East Africa, wherever one's at, to let y'all know that it's a pending storm coming or it's on its way?
Yes, there is, especially the national broadcaster KBC. They really give highlights on weather updates immediately after news. It forms part of the news. So for one to get updated, then you need to keep up to that channel and get to know the weather pattern, how it shall be throughout the country. And even that also a replica of other private stations that also air news highlights. Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. It is possible that if one is keen and interested in knowing weather pattern, then he or she can listen to either of the channels, or you can still use your internet and get updated through your cell phone if you have a smartphone. So yes, it is.
Okay. Our next tip, and I know there may be a challenge, is not just for our brothers and sisters in East Africa, but here in the United States. Medication and supplies. Ensure you have an ample supply of your prescribed medications, including any necessary kidney-related medications. Stock up on essential supplies like dialysis, if this applies to you, dialysis materials, if applicable, and any other medical equipment you may require. And when we finish this, I'm going to go over some a emergency supply list. Okay, and I was looking to see and a food supply list. So as I was saying, stock up on essential supplies. Consider having backup power supply if you can. That's if you can. What I mean by backup power supply, generator. Not everybody can afford a generator, okay? But if you can, that's good to have. Also, if extra batteries for other stuff that may be battery operated. And this is in case of a power outage. Get some candles. If you can't get batteries or have sufficient light, get candles. Or just have it somewhere that you know where it's at in case the power goes out. Now, Brother Moses, talk to us about tip 2 when it comes to our brothers and sisters in Kenya as far as medication and supplies. Is that a challenge to stockpile Well, let's speak for yourself, because I know you represent many Kenyans when it comes to dialysis and affordability. Um, would this be a problem for many Kenyans and yourself to stockpile on medications that you may need if you can't get to dialysis?
Well, it is not easy to have the entire pack that lasts you for maybe a week ahead or 2 weeks ahead, because remember, most warriors, they live but each day. They live each day. If they get, for example, those who are diabetic will get drugs depending on how they can afford them. So yes, in ideal situation, one should be buying so that he is prepared with sufficient drugs, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks ahead. But here is a case you cannot access for those 2 weeks. So bearing in mind that even if you know that you should do that, then your hands are still tied because of cost-related factors.
And
So
so we have a comment from Edwin Eddie Isaac, and thank you, Edwin, for joining Kidney Hub East Africa. Edwin says in Kenya, medical supplies and diet is very expensive for low income earners. Most facilities do not stock some of the supplies. Would you agree with that, Brother Moses?
absolutely true. You know, with the public facilities we have in Kenya, they are not as established as private facilities. So, and even these public facilities, there is pressure on them because uh, there is staff shortage, supply shortage, you know, and there is also theft by the staff, such like things, and a lot of corruption. So you realize even stocking drugs, sometimes you must know someone in order for you to go and buy it at affordable price. So yes, I do agree with him. It is a great challenge.
So, Brother Moses, what
Yes.
happens, and don't sugarcoat this, if El Nino Rains comes and you get to a point where it's raining so bad that it floods the streets and knock out road and power, and say dialysis clinic is out for a month, where would you go get your treatment? Or other
Uh,
Kenyans that go to that facility?
what happens? You know, you can travel to other places. That is now by your own means. You can travel other places, and also you plan over there to get treatment
Would
elsewhere.
you go to
So,
the hospital and get it?
uh, well, you know, if a particular facility has some challenges, you can still try go to look for elsewhere, anywhere that you go. The hospital does not care, does not even refer you in that case, because they do not know the arrangement that a particular facility has. So it is upon you to go to either of the facility of your choice that you know or you've searched and you've got the contact, then you can make arrangement and shift there and relocate, even if it means relocating to your area of stay. Then it means you have to relocate.
And that means you got to pick up and move and find a place to live and all that.
Oh yes, oh yes, yes. So those are also challenges that comes with it. If even sometimes you realize even a referral hospital is shut down because there is disruption for treatment, simply because the supplier was never paid in time and now is not supplying. So there is a serious shortage, and then health workers goes on strike time and again. So that is total disruption. They don't care. They don't give you notice where to go. Neither do they give referral that this facility, we are on strike. Uh, uh, Go this place and get the treatment needed.
Okay.
So a lot of disruption besides bad weather.
So over there, it would be definitely a big challenge for kidney warriors to stock up on medication and supplies. So, what would you suggest? I mean, in that situation, I mean, just go without medicine because it's impossible to stock up on medication. But I'm sure that they may have people that may have the finances to do that. But for individuals who don't, um, what do you think they could do to just be prepared if something should happen and they can't get to treatment?
I mean, they should just have the information, the right information, that it is important to stock supply, medical supply that will last them for just a week ahead, some days ahead. I think that is the most important, because beside not able to afford, most people are not aware that emergency preparedness is something that should be put forward. So even if you can't afford, but the most important, you know that it is necessary that you always plan ahead. So if funds avails, the first thing you should try and plan ahead. So that is the most important thing, because I'm afraid, when you tell people that you should keep drugs ahead, maybe that last you maybe 1 month, uh, uh, there are many issues now, and of course, every one of us warriors suffers that. It is a total setback. So yes, the most important is knowing that that information alone is perhaps 1 foot forward.
Okay. Okay. Um, but for kidney warriors here in the United States, if and we know because Medicare pays for medication, and then some patients here in the United States have trouble as well with medicine. But if you can stockpile your medicine, like your binders, your phosphorus binders, maybe put some to the side, or if they sending you multiple ones, like in the bottles, put some to the side just in case. Next tip 3, is a communication plan. Now, as Brother Moses says, over in Kenya, some places in East Africa, the infrastructure may not be as equipped as other developing nations. But tip 3 is communication plan. You definitely have to have a communication plan, because establishing a communication plan with the facility, your family, and friends in case something happens, especially here in the United States. Because if you have to evacuate because of a tornado or hurricane or whatever the case may be, like down in Florida or the Outer Banks of Mississippi or North Carolina, wherever you are on the shore and got a storm coming, you got to evacuate, it's good to call the clinic and let them know where you're going. Also, your friends and family. Sharing your emergency contact information with them and have theirs readily available as well. Again, like I said, this is in case of evacuation or separation. You're going to want to designate a meeting point or have a trusted person to contact. Now, Brother Moses, is that possible for you and other warriors to establish a communication plan just in case one may have to evacuate their residence?
Absolutely. This is quite possible. One just need to be aware of what it takes. For example, as a warrior, you need to have a list of your care team, all their contacts, and also where to get them in any eventuality. Besides, you can also one can also have a contact person within the family or friends, or other support system like religious setups. That is quite possible, so that should anything happens to you, one knows that let's get him through this. Let's go where he fellowships. Let's go where the groups that he belongs, uh, social groups that he belongs. So this is quite possible. It is quite possible, and very important that you get all that contact of persons that can reach you, and then you must also get contacts of people you can reach, so that you miss to reach one, you get the other one. You miss that, you get the other one. So yes, this is quite possible.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Tip 4. Now, this may be hard for some kidney warriors in East Africa, and maybe here in the United States as well, but safe water and hygiene. Now, during heavy rain, water sources can become contaminated. Ensure you have access to safe drinking water by storing enough bottled water or purifying water using appropriate methods like boiling or using water purification tablets. And you may have to get some of them. Maintain good hygiene practices such as washing hands frequently with clean water and soap if you can. Brother Moses, share if that would be a challenge for kidney warriors in in Kenya, safe water and hygiene?
Well, uh, uh, the setup in Kenya, we have several counties, and we have few counties that are arid and semi-arid. Those counties are having a great challenge regarding clean water. But then other places, water is abundant. It's not an issue. You can buy water at affordable rates, or pay for water bills at affordable rates, and then prepare your own healthy drinking water, just as you mentioned, through boiling and other form of treatment. But for those who are in arid areas, namely Turkana, Marsabit, Isiolo, those are parts that are arid and semi-arid in this country. So for those counties, they are really hit by challenges, especially with heavy rains. There is also a serious run of water that contaminate other water sources, and also sweeping houses, and contaminating just even I mean all the water points. So yes, there are parts that it is quite possible to keep healthy water, not necessarily bottled water, but tap water that you just boil and it becomes safe. But for those who are in arid areas, they have to buy bottled water expensively.
Okay. Now, our next tip, which um, is very, very important, and I'm going to share some items that you can put, is an emergency kit. Now, we again did a show like this maybe like a month ago or something, and we talked about emergency preparedness. Now, an emergency kit, anyone could put one together, but for kidney warriors, they had to have or should have special items. Now, prepare an emergency kit that includes essential items such as non-perishable foods, a flashlight, extra batteries, a first aid kit, a waterproof bag for important documents, and a list of emergency contact numbers. Also, consider any specific needs you may have as a kidney patient, such as dietary restrictions or additional medical supplies. Now, let me add more to that. All right. So, you should also include plastic knives, spoons, forks, pack of napkins and paper plates, pack of plastic or styrofoam bowls, paper towels, pack of plastic cups, candles, matches, can opener, manual, baby wipes, a sharp knife, flashlight and batteries, as I mentioned, scissors, garbage bags, plastic jug for storing water, measuring cups, teaspoons and tablespoons, a dropper, one small bottle of household chlorine bleach, piece of cloth, cheesecloth, or handkerchief, a strainer, extra pair of eyeglasses if you wear glasses in case the first ones break, a radio and batteries, a first aid kit, as I mentioned before, 5 to 7 day supply of all your medicines, 5-day supply of antibiotics. This is only referring to peritoneal dialysis patients. Diuretics, sorbitol, and K-Xlate. Now, that's if the doctor orders it. And sorbitol and K-Xlate, that's like a binder for potassium. You're going to want to have that. If nothing else, get you some sorbitol or K-Xlate. Have the doctor write a prescription and say you just want to have it just in case. That's not designed for you to take because you don't go to dialysis. Because what this medicine does, it binds the potassium in the blood and you eliminate it through your stools. Okay? If you're a diabetic, because we have people on dialysis that are diabetics in East Africa, as well as here in the United States, because here in the United States, diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure. So if you're a diabetic, whether you're in East Africa or United States, make sure you have spare batteries and test strips for your glucometer meter, okay, or glucose meter, glucose meter, however you want to call it. 5 to 7 day supply of glucose monitoring supplies, 5 to 7 day supply of syringes, and 5 to 7 day supply of insulin. Okay? Now, if you have heart disease, because we know kidney warriors do have heart disease, right? You want to have 5 to 7 day supply of all blood pressure medication, as well as heart or anti-clotting medicine. Also, as far as food goes, all right, we know that could be a challenge. I'm going to give you a short list of some food that you can have on deck. And if you're in East Africa, hopefully you can get something equivalent or the same thing. Now, in this food list or this food supply list provides a 6-day supply of canned foods and water. I don't advocate for canned, but it's the next best thing if you don't have fresh food or access to fresh food. You know, oatmeal is better than no meal. So here we go. Again, use fresh foods as long as they are available. And then once you exhausted the fresh foods, then let's get into what we're about to talk about. You want to have 4 8-ounce cans of evaporated milk, 1 or 2 gallons of distilled or bottled water, 2 packages powdered fruit flavored drink mix, 1 to 2 cans of bottles of soft drink, 6-pack of 4-ounce cans or boxes of fruit juice, cranberry, apple, or grape, 6 boxes of single serving cereal, no raisin bran, small box of white sugar or box of sugar packets, 12 4-ounce cans or fruit bowls of fruit, no raisin, 6 8-ounce cans of low sodium vegetables, carrots, green beans, peas, corn or wax beans, 6 3-ounce or 4-ounce cans of low sodium meat, tuna, crab, chicken, salmon, or turkey, 1 jar peanut butter, 1 small jar jelly or honey, 8 12 single serve foil wrap packs of mayonnaise, 1 loaf regular bread, no salt free, no preservative, 1 box vanilla wafers or graham crackers, and then 1 jumbo pack of chewing gum. And then what you're going to do, you're going to create a 3-day or 6-day emergency diet plan. So let me give you an example for day 1. So say for breakfast for day 1, you may have a 4th cup evaporated milk with a 4th cup of distilled water, 1 box of cereal, a half a can, 2 ounce of canned peaches drained. And that would be breakfast. And then for snack, you may have 5 vanilla wafers or graham crackers. And then when they come around, and now this is if you don't have access to fresh stuff and you're stuck in the house and you got this stuff available. And then for lunch, you may have peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 2 slices of bread, 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, 2 teaspoons of jelly, a half cup can of pears drained, a half cup 4-ounce pre-made powdered fruit drink. And then for a snack, you may have a half a cup canned applesauce. And then for dinner, chicken sandwich, 2 slices of bread, half can 2-ounce canned low sodium chicken, 2 teaspoons or tablespoons of mayo, a half cup canned low sodium carrots drained, and a half cup of cranberry juice. And then for a snack after dinner, you may have vanilla wafers, 5, or graham crackers. Also, the chicken and the mayo, these are perishable items. Throw away any unused food in open containers if not refrigerated or used within 4 hours. Brother Moses, any thoughts on what I just went over about emergency kit, food supply list, and items that you should have for this kit?
Well, from the grocery, just allow me to relate what we have here. You can have grains, dried rice, maize. So, but the most important thing is that you try and stock what you can, so that you don't wait until last minute that you want to go rush. At least stock something. Don't just wait and see. At least stock something that you would need. Yes. Other than that, it will be disaster if the transport network has been paralyzed. Maybe a bridge has collapsed somewhere, and there is no crossing over of goods and services. So this is why it is very important that one tries his or her best to stock what he can, The list is endless. You can also liaise with your dietitian or nutritionist, and then you stock within what is available in your area.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'm sure that brothers and sisters over in East Africa got access to matches or a lighter, flashlight, paper towels, paper cups, um, if nothing else, because this stuff can come in handy if, like you say, the system goes down. If there's no power, you got a flashlight. You got
Oh,
you got
yes.
you got your flashlight. Then you can look for your candles. But see, the thing is, if one can afford it, get yourself like a box, and you could put this stuff in and know where it's at, just in case you do have a blackout. You know where your kit is. You get to it and get the flashlight out and go from there until power comes back on. You burn some candles. So yes, definitely. And I want to answer a question we had from Mrs. Elizabeth. Thank you for joining the show. I don't believe so, because I know people on home dialysis that don't have backup generators. And so the question was, are backup generators mandatory for home dialysis? Maybe some places that are prone to natural disaster may require that, but I haven't heard that throughout my career if generators were mandatory. So also, Nancy, thank you for joining the show as well. And we're glad that you're learning a lot and able to, what works for you, take it. If it doesn't, then let it go over your head. But we hope what we talk about today can help many people, whether it's in East Africa or United States. But we just know that our fellow brothers and sisters over in East Africa may have a hard time getting access to some of these things. And so we put the information out there, they may be able to substitute one item for another. Oh, we don't have this, but we have that. So, all right. Our next tip is an evacuation plan. Now, this may be hard for our brothers and sisters in East Africa. An evacuation plan. Familiarize yourself with evacuation routes and shelters in your area. If you require regular dialysis or have other specific medical needs, inform local authorities or healthcare providers in advance so that appropriate arrangements can be made if evacuations become necessary. Brother Moses, how realistic is that for brothers and sisters in Kenya or any part of East Africa to have an evacuation plan?
Well, even before execution of such evacuation, such emergencies, you realize that by the time the response team arrives, it is already disastrous, because just I've mentioned that we have poor infrastructure, be it they are not good, they are not up to standards, there are limitations. So by the time, even for example, if I've seen a case of fire, even fire outbreak in residential areas, you realize that by the time the fire brigade comes or the firefighters, already the damage has been caused. So yes, it is very important also for most warriors and all their support system to be aware of basic emergency kit, like where the fire extinguisher is, the exit door is, such like things, and even once a while attending drills for emergency, knowing where to get out, when to extinguish the fire, having all the contacts of the response team, like the St. John ambulance, so that it doesn't become something that is disastrous by the end of it.
Got you. Okay, let's move on to tip 7. And that's have a support network. That's very crucial. Again, not only in East Africa, but here in the United States, having a support network. And that's not just for emergency preparedness, but if you have a chronic condition, not just kidney disease, lupus, sickle cell, whatever you may be dealing with, a support network is very crucial. And so reach out to local kidney patient support groups, healthcare organizations, or community centers to connect with others. That's the main focus. Connect with others who may be facing similar challenges. We know that sharing experience and resources can provide valuable support during emergencies. What do you think about that, Brother Moses, as we wind down about
I totally
support
agree
network?
with you. Having support system really contributes towards a better outcome when it comes to managing any form of chronic diseases, not only kidney failure, talk about cancer, and other things. So if you find peace, especially with your support system, and you trust them, and you appreciate the little that they show off to support you, then it is perhaps the most liberating thing, Brother Steve, in a life of one who really suffers from a chronic condition. Now, having a support system can come from family members, friends, and even especially where religious groupings that also provide a spiritual nourishment, right? And then you can also talk to by such organization, and you will realize that people loves you. It gives you the motivation to live the next day. So basically, I would really advise from my own experience that you should not actually blame anyone for your war, for your condition. You should just accept your condition, appreciate the small things that the support system does, and you move forward, living each day at a time, Brother Steve.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Brother Moses. However, we just want to emphasize it's crucial to consult wherever you're at. If you're here in the United States watching, you in East Africa, or you in any other country and you watching, and you heard what we talked about during the broadcast, it's crucial to consult with your nephrologist or your dialysis care team or your dialysis provider for personalized advice and recommendations based on your specific medical condition. Okay? We are here for educational purposes only. And also to our brothers and sisters, and to you, Brother Moses, in East Africa that will possibly experience the El Nino rain season, stay safe, stay prepared, and take necessary precautions to protect yourself during the El Nino rain season. Hopefully, together, we can navigate through these challenges and ensure the well-being of kidney patients in East Africa. Any last words, Brother Moses, before we end our broadcast today?
Oh, yes. This broadcast does not replace the advice from your care team. If anything is to go by, this is meant for educational purpose, and it is actually meant to trigger trigger a conversation with your care team, knowing how to begin a conversation, and having in mind the basics that you can engage towards being proactive in your treatment. So yes, it is important that you continue listening to Kidney Hub East Africa. We are always live, same time, same day, every Sunday. So don't miss it out. Same day, same time, every Sunday.
Absolutely. And speaking of every Sunday, join us next Sunday for another episode of Kidney Hub East Africa. And we'll let you know during the week what the topic is, but you're going to want to come back because it's going to be an exciting one and an educational one. As the Bible saying goes, our people perish for a lack of knowledge. We're here for that knowledge so people won't perish, especially dealing with this disease, the 9th leading cause of death in the United States. So with that being said, thank everyone for watching. Let me thank the people who watched from YouTube and Facebook. We have Miss Elizabeth Oldham. Thank you very much, madam. Edwin Eddie Isaac. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. NG from YouTube. Thank you, my dear. We appreciate you. Nancy Ann Awar. I hope I didn't mispronounce your last name. Thank you. And we encourage you to keep coming back. Keep coming back. Keep commenting and adding dialogue to the discussion. So with that being said, Brother Moses, I'll be talking with you during the week. Have a safe treatment this Tuesday. I believe you have treatment?
Yes, on Tuesday and
Okay.
Friday.
All right. I thought it was Saturday. It's Friday.
Tuesday and Friday.
Okay, Tuesday and Fridays. Okay. Well, with that being said, have a safe treatment this Tuesday. Tell your sister hello again, and great meeting her. And we'll see everyone next week. We'll leave off with a PSA pertaining to kidney disease. Thank everyone. God bless. And we see you next week. See you, Brother Moses.
Thank you so much, Brother Steve. Stay safe.
You too.
Hello, I'm Darren. We have breaking news. More than 600,000 Americans have kidney failure. While the number of people with kidney failure is enormous, the number of people with its precursor, chronic kidney disease, is staggering. An estimated 31 million Americans, or about 10% of the US population. Diabetes and hypertension cause 2/3 of all cases of kidney disease. 1 out of every 3 Americans is at risk for kidney disease, and kidney disease is now among the top 10 causes of death in the United States. In addition, 9 out of 10 people with early to moderate kidney disease don't know they have it, putting their health in jeopardy. Are you at risk? For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org. The life you save may be yours.